When life and stress has got you feeling down, when the seriousness of life has drawn you a frown, to brighten your day, there's a place you can go. It's the Matthew and Ali Variety Show. Okay, I don't know how many of you know this, but I got laid off about a month ago from the job I'd held for 3.5 years, and I've been looking for a new job ever since. Well, one of my friends who owns his own septic company asked me to help him dig a drainage ditch, and so I said, sure I will, and it turned out we ended up digging a drainage field that were 4 56-foot long trenches that were, well, roughly at times they were 8 to 9 foot deep, but they got filled up to be 4 foot deep with the rock and the pipe and everything else. Let me tell you, that's a lot of hard work. Even though the backhoe does 90% of the digging, leveling everything out and smoothing out the rock and then laying the pipe is extremely hard work. Believe me, I know. Anyway, the rest of the story, it's not that, but it is attached to the drainage ditch, literally. 13 years ago, my boss had put in a drainage field at the base of the hill, and he had it tailing off on the one side. Well, the family that owns this area is going to put a house over there on that side. They're going to put it on a slab, like a double wide or a mobile home. And so we had to move the half pipe that's in that drain field over to the other side so it still works. And the house will have a drainage field by itself. So he dug up all that side, dug up all the half pipe, and I manually had to pull it out after digging out the sides. While I was doing that, on the other side, he dug out a trench that was 4 foot deep, and he came across some harder soil that wouldn't let the water drain out like it's supposed to. So he ended up having to dig another 5 foot deeper in that spot, which is roughly about, 5 or so, maybe 8 foot long trench on that spot that he had to dig deeper. The next day we filled that up with sand. And to get the sand to compact, I had it leveled out and everything, but sand will compact over time, and to get it to compact first, before it would, you'd hook the pipe up and the sand would compact and either break the pipe or cause it to drain down too far, we have to get it wet. So he pulled a hose over and we got it wet, and I joked with him, Perry, you're going to make quicksand here. We both laughed at it, and went over and got the other drainage field taken care of to a point. Came back about 2 or 3 hours later, and it was completely soaked. So we went back in there, leveled out the sand, and I was stepping back, helping level it out, and got to the part where he had dug extra deep, and the ground all of a sudden gave way beneath me. I hear there's and I feel my leg being sucked in instantly. I am down. I said, Perry, bye. I'm gone. And he turned around as fast as he could, grabbed my arm with his. We locked elbows. He pulled me out. I have sand all the way up my leg, in my boot, water in my boot, and I walk around slosh, slosh, slosh. He tells me, get out. I'm thinking, great, I just became a liability here. Crap. I get out of the thing. He goes over and smooths it out as much as he dares to walk out, and about 10 minutes later he starts walking out over that area where I sunk. He's not sinking. He's walking on it just fine. The ground is a little sloshy, but not too bad. I turned to him. I said, how are you not sinking? He says, I'm thinking light thoughts. Okie dokie. The guy's not much smaller than me. He is smaller than me, but not by much. I said, well, how are you doing this? He says, well, last time I weighed myself, I weighed about 210. Crap, I weigh about 250. I guess that 40 pounds means something. So we both get out of there, everything's smoothed over, and we go over and grab the pipe, the half pipe that we pulled out of the other side, and bring it over and start laying it down, locking it in place, laying it down, locking it in place. Soon as we're doing that, I'm finding myself backing up towards that area where I'd sunk again, thinking, oh crap, I'm going to sink here again. The half pipe isn't going to, it's not heavy enough to. But I am. So I start stepping out onto it, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm as light as a feather, I'm light as a feather, I'm light as a feather. and I didn't sink. Thinking to myself, well, maybe there's something to this thinking light here. We got it all connected, got it taken care of, and got out and went home. On the way home, he just starts laughing out of the blue. I mean, we hadn't been talking, we hadn't said anything to each other, and he just starts laughing out of the blue. What? I'm just remembering you going down. Bye, Perry! And me, I'm sitting there, not mortified, but I'm kind of embarrassed that I went down after I'd made the joke about the quicksand earlier. But I laughed with him because it was hilarious. Came home, told my sisters, well, told one of my sisters, the other one's out of town, told a few of my friends, and they all just had a gas over it. So that's my calamity story for this job. Hopefully I don't have another one because the job's not quite finished yet. Got one more day of work to go. So wish me luck and hope I don't sink. Bye, guys.